Hello, 5th graders. Welcome to lesson 4.3, Multiply Decimals by Decimals. Let's get started. Today's objective is I can evaluate multiplication of multi-digit decimals times multi-digit decimals by using place value with 100% accuracy in multiple attempts. Please pause now to write the I can and by statement in your digital math notebook. All right, friends, in today's lesson, we're going to extend what we learned yesterday, multiplying a decimal by a whole number. Today, we're going to multiply a decimal by a decimal. So it says we're going to solve 0.4 times 0.6 using the standard algorithm. Remember that when we use the standard algorithm, we're going to multiply just like normal, and then we're going to count the total number of decimal places and put those decimal places in the product, which is the answer. So first off, let's show this with the standard algorithm, and then I'll show you what it looks like in a picture in case we see some of those. So in this example, we are multiplying 4 times 6 first. So 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 0 is 0 plus 2. Magic 0. 4 times 0 is 0, and 0 times 0 is 0. So we just get that 24, but we need to count the number of place values in both of our decimals. Yesterday we only counted the place value in the decimal, not the whole number. But today we have two numbers and they both have decimals. So we start at the right and we count 1, and then we start with the second. Now we start at the right and count 1. So we have 1 and 1, which means we need 2. So we would have the number 0, 2, 4 when we added. I just wrote it over here so I have more space. And then we would count from the right 2 decimal places in because there's 1, 2 decimal places. So we're going to count 2 decimal places. So 1, 2, and our number would be 0.24. In a picture, this would look like 4 rows of tenths. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it would look like 6 rows of tenths the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I know it's a little hard to see, but the area that is colored twice is our answer. So there are 24 squares that are colored twice. Let's continue, and you can do a problem with me. All right. When multiplying decimals, it is important to remember that we do not line up the place values. We push everything over to the right, and then we multiply as if we don't have any decimals at all. So our first step here says we're going to stack the numbers. We're going to multiply 1.2 times 2.6. So the first thing that we're going to do is multiply just like normal. So 2 times 6 is 12. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Then we're going to start with a magic 0. 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 1 is 2. Then we're going to add these numbers just like normal. 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 7 is 11, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So let's check over here. We stacked the numbers. We need to count the decimal places. Let's do that next. So we have 1 decimal place here and 1 decimal place here. So that means we need to have 2 down below. So 1, 2. So we should get 3.12. So let's go back to our steps. We counted the decimal places. There were 2. We multiplied. We added. Then we counted our decimal places in the end, and we counted 2 decimal places. So now we know we are correct. So multiplying with a decimal is just like multiplying. with a whole number, we just add our decimal places in the end. Please pause to write this down in your digital math notebook. All right, friends, time for the lesson activity. I've gone ahead and written the numbers stacked for you. We're just going to multiply and then count our place values. Let's start with this number to the left. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 5 is 45. Plus 3 would be 48. Then we start with a magic 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. Now we could do 2 magic zeros and multiply everything by this 0 here, but we know that anything times 0 is going to be 0, so we're just going to have a whole row of zeros. So I'm just going to leave that 0 alone and go ahead and add. So 6 plus 0 is 0. 8 plus 4 is 12. 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So here's our number. Then before we're done, we have to count our place values. So we count 1 here, and then 1, 2 here. So that means we have 3. So that means we need to go down to the bottom and count 3. 1, 2, 3. So our number would be 1.026. Let's do one more. We're going to multiply the number 2.8 times 32. So we only have a decimal on top, so this looks like what we did yesterday. 8 times 2 is 16. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Start with your magic 0. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Then we're going to add our numbers together. 6 and 9 and 8. And I'm going to stop here, but your job is to determine how many place values you need to count. There's 1 at the top. So is your answer 896? Is your answer 89.6? Or is your answer 8.96? You need to decide where that decimal goes and type your answers into your digital math notebook. Great job, 5th graders. When your notes are complete, make sure you complete the exit slip and be ready to see your teacher. Great job!